Okay, lesson 6, activity 1, problem 1, part A. Got triangle ABC, side BC is 5, angle B is 45, angle C is 60. How long is AC? All right, so I think it's important to draw a picture every time. Maybe you could figure this out without a picture. That'd be a fun mental exercise, but this is geometry, trigonometry. Let's draw ABC. A, B, C. It doesn't have to be accurate or anything. Just sketching it. A, B, C. So these are the angles. Side BC is 5. Like I say, it doesn't have to be accurate. And angle B, 45 degrees. Angle C, 60 degrees. Okay, find out AC. So this is our question mark here. And so then to use this law of sines, well, let's see which one we're going to use, right? Because we're going to learn law of cosines, and when you use each one is important. So let's see. Let's label these sides like we're learning them. So this is side little c, right? Because it's opposite. So and side BC is actually side little a, right? And side AC is side B. So I don't need to use this guy. I don't need to use side C. It's not asking for it. And it's opposite to 60. Well, what's this other angle over here? I need that because I want to do what I know over A. Sine of A over that equals sine of 45 over B. So find that other angle right here. So that's my first step. Oh, sorry, you're supposed to pause and do all this. Sorry, once again, pause and do this, work this problem. If I've drawn this out now, you use sine. If you had trouble drawing it out. There's a few little things in there to keep track of. But pause it and work it yourself, and then I'll work it here. I forgot about that. Okay, 180 minus 60 minus 45 equals, that'd be down to 120 minus 45, it'd get me 80, is that 75? Let me add them up and check. The 5 and the 5 gives me a 10, 11, 12, yeah, that's right, 11, 17, okay, 75 degrees. So this is 75 degrees. So now we can set it up. I know that sine of A over little a equals, and we're wanting to find little b, sine of big B over little b. So let's substitute now. All you got to do is substitute and solve. Sine of 75 degrees over 5 equals sine of 45 degrees over little b. Okay. So you can cross multiply if you want. And so I'd wind up with b equals 5 times sine of 45 degrees over sine of 75 degrees. All right, let's stick that in our calculator here. What did I say? Let me try to do this all together. 5 sine 45 close divided by sine 75. Now, before I press a button here, let me guess at this and see what I think. I think since 45 is smaller than 75, B will be smaller because it's opposite the smaller angle. They are opposite the bigger angle here. 5 is the biggest side in the thing. So my answer for B should be less than 5. Greater than 0 and less than 5. That's what it gives me. That way, if it doesn't give me that, I'll double check it. Equals, that sounds good. 3.66. You probably just want one decimal place. 3.7 centimeters. So, I hope that's what you got. And let's see here. We'll do this one too. So pause here, and you work this one, and then I'll work it. Draw your triangle, and answer. This time you got 2 sides and 1 angle. Okay, so you answer it, and here I go. Triangle ABC, ABC. AC is 5. That's also equals little b, because it's opposite of big B. BC is 4, and that's going to equal A. And angle A equals 30 degrees. And it wants to know this length of this side. So this is my question mark here. So it wants to know little c. So how do I find that? Well, I have to do a little more work here, I think, because I need to get this angle over here in order to get this. But to get this angle, I can't get it yet, but I could get angle B, right? So let's get angle B. Step 1, I'll get angle B. Step 1, I'm going to say sine a big B over little b equals sine A over little a. Sine of big B, that's what we're going to get. We're going to figure out angle B over 5 equals sine of 30. Hey, we know sine of 30, right? You got that memorized. Over 4. Sine of 30 is a half. Am I correct? Yeah. Sine of 30 is 1/2. So I don't even have to put that in my calculator. So now I'm going to have sine of B equals 1/2 divided by 4. That's going to go to 1/8. Anyway, divided by 4 times 5. That's going to be 5/8. Am I correct? A half divided by 4 would be 1/8 times 5, 5/8. 5/8. So, oh boy, I went too far here, but I'll just squinch it in here because I got to do part 2, right? So, so angle B equals sine inverse of 5/8. Okay. So clear. And I got on mine, I hit shift, sine inverse 5 divided by 8 equals. Now, what do I think before I press that button? This is 4 over here, opposite the 30, and this side's 5. So my answer should be, I hope I've got it in degrees, should be bigger than 30 degrees, but not by a whole lot more. So let's see what I get here. Hopefully I get a little bigger than 5. I mean, a little bigger than 30 degrees. Yeah, there we are, 38.7. So let's go 38.7. So angle B, measure of angle B equals 38.7 degrees. Okay, so then I can find angle C. So 38.7 degrees. Fill that in on my little thing here. What do I got here? So now I'm going to do 180 minus 38.7 minus 30. And once again, it's always good to guess before you punch the buttons. I'm going to be subtracting 60. Gets me down to 120. It's going to be 111.3, is that right? Yay, 111.3. That's a much bigger angle over here, 111.3. So we know this side C, is going to be the biggest side. And that's what we're trying to find. Side AB is side little c. So here's step 2. We'll go sine of angle C, 111.3 degrees. Oops, sorry about that. Sine of 11.3 degrees over side AB, side little c, equals either of the other ones. I don't care. Let's do that 30 over 4 again. Sine of 30 degrees over 4. That was nice and easy, right? So let's see. I would wind up cross multiply, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Well, we can do that. 1/2 of C times C equals 4 sine 111.3. And so I'd multiply by 2. I'm going to have C equals 8 sine 111.3. So little c equals, just stick that in your calculator. You can put it all in at once. Clear. I'm going to have 8 times sine 111.3. Oops, not 11.3. 8 sine 111.3 equals. And sure enough, it's the longest side. Good. Let's just go with 7.5 centimeters. Is it centimeters? Centimeters. Okay, we finally got our answer. So sometimes you'll have to do 2 steps, okay, to use law of sines. Now, okay, once we start doing law of cosines, you just got to pay attention when you use each one, right? I don't know if your test will say, use law of sines. It probably won't. You'll probably have to figure that out. Law of sines is easier to use than law of cosines, so if you can, you use it. And you have to have an angle, a known angle opposite a known side, and then one other side or angle, right? You have to have 3 pieces of information to use either one of them, law of sines or cosines. But you need to have an angle and an opposite side and one other side, or an angle and an opposite side and one other angle. So that's what you're looking for to use law of sines. Whew, that made the longest film ever. Sorry. Didn't know I was talking so slow. Okay, now let's look on this next page here. These are all law of sines. So I don't think I'm going to belabor the point. You can write me on email, Kenda, if you need me to work any of this lesson 6, activity 1, 2, A, B, C, or D. Okay, draw your triangle, and they're actually giving you the sides and everything. But draw the triangle each time and solve. Like in the first one, I'm sure it's wanting you to solve for side little b, right? You could solve for everything in that triangle easily, right? So you probably should solve for all the missing sides and angles in each one of these. If you have any trouble with these, ask me, okay? And I'll solve them. But this is a lot of movie here already. Okay, good luck.